Hey, what's up, friends? Heading out. Gonna do a little bit on the hill start control system that's on the BMW R1250 RS, and it's on a lot of the other BMWs as well. And I think some other motorcycles must have it as well. But just gonna go out to a parking lot, test it out, show you how I use it, and that's it. It's not super cold right now, but we got a cold front coming in, and I'm not gonna be able to ride probably for about 5 to 6 days. It's supposed to be about 12 degrees at the coldest here, which is kind of unheard of here in the South, but it does happen. So I'm gonna get my ride on today, have some fun, and hopefully it'll last me over. That wind therapy will last me over for at least a week until I can get back on the bike. So we'll see a little bit in a parking lot.
Okay, we're on the way to this park. It has a little bit of a incline on the parking lot, so that helped demonstrate the hill start control. But it's already, let's see, 63 degrees, so it's not that cold out. But this huge cold front's coming in here into the south and across a lot of the U.S. And the stores are all mobbed today. People grabbing water and toilet paper. And last time this happened in Texas, we had a big freeze and everyone was stuck in their houses for a few days. And electricity went out for a lot of people, and there was, I think, some people froze to death. And I don't know, it's crazy. So stay warm. I don't know if any of you have this problem, but I've got the BMW connected ride app or connected app or whatever it's called. And recently, for the past month or so, it has been showing a really messed up, what do you call it? Let me get around this pen so I can take my hands off the controls. We're doing all kinds of construction here. Okay, so see here on my dashboard, it says 47, 48, 50 is my speed. In the middle it says 64. That's supposed to be the speed limit of this road, but that's not correct. It's like in kilometers or something. But when I go into the app, it's in miles. It's not in kilometers, and it just really messed up. It used to show the accurate speed for that road, which this road here I think is 45 miles an hour, so it should say 45, not 64. And I went online and saw a bunch of people complain about it and say that it's going to be fixed in an update, but I've got my connected ride app updated, and it's still kind of messed up. So I don't know. Comment in the section below if you know anything about that, or how to fix it, or what BMW is planning on doing about that. The rest of this ride's a little boring, so I'll see you when I get to the parking lot. Okay, here we are at the park. Let me grab this parking spot up here. Probably can't tell from the GoPro, but this parking lot is on a slope. Let me get this open. It is on a slope, so I'm kind of facing uphill a little bit. So if I pick my feet up off the ground and release the brake, I'm going to start rolling back ever so slightly. It's not a very steep angle. So this hill start control or assist, I think it's control. Let me put the owner's manual page up on the screen here so you can see it. I think it's hill start control, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, the basic one is you just front brake, you just squeeze in really hard, extra hard, and let it go. And then on the screen, here, let me put the bike in neutral. Okay, so I can use this hand to talk. Alright, so you just squeeze the brake hard, and then up here you'll see an H pop up. Hard and let it go. Okay, there you go. Hope you can see that. So that's the hill start indicator. Now I can take my hands off the bike, off the handlebars, and I can sit here without rolling backwards. So that's one way to use it. And this is kind of the way I use it a lot when I'm on very slight inclines and I just want to take a break. Like if I pull up to a red light and I've got cars behind me that have stopped already, so I'm safe. I'm not going to get rear-ended, and it's a long light and I just need a break and I want to sit up. I'll use hill start control to hold the bike in place so it doesn't move around. What it's really intended for, though, is if you get on a really steep incline that's hard to go up. The bike is sensitive to how much incline it is. So in this case, here, let's do a little test and show you how this works. So right now I'm not on a very steep incline, and sometimes if I got the clutch fully engaged, which I do now, and if I hit the gas a little bit, the hill start will disengage. Right now it's not, so it's holding in place. Sometimes there it goes, it just let go. So I'm not on a very steep incline, but see, now I'm rolling backwards. Okay, brake on, re-engage, hill start. Okay, there we go. So the way this works is basically you want to get the clutch into the clutch didn't even get into the friction zone and it disengaged. This is not a steep hill. If you're on a very steep hill, it usually, from times I've used it, it won't disengage until the friction zone is engaged and you've got some throttle going and the bike is going to move in a forward direction. So let me engage that again. Now you watch here, I don't know if you can see both my hand and the screen there, but just a little bit of clutch out. It didn't even get to the friction zone yet, and I'm rolling backwards. So you got to be a little careful. So that's why part of this is I'm just warning you that this thing isn't completely foolproof on every incline. So you definitely want to engage your rear brake. That's always going to be the safest way, and the rear brake will hold you in place, and it's up to you when you release that rear brake to let you continue on your way. So let's re-engage that again. Okay, so let's take off here and go over to this stop sign. This is a much steeper angle. Okay, let's go over here. Whee! Okay, so let's stop here. Re-engage the hill start. Squeeze the front brake really hard and let it go. Boom, done. So now when I did it that time, I could feel the front suspension kind of dig down, like dive down on me a little bit. And because I'm on a much steeper incline, the hill start control shouldn't let go as easily as it did on that smaller incline. So I'm going to let the clutch out. I'm not going to give it any gas. See, right now it would have already disengaged where we were before. Okay, there it goes. So it just almost got to the friction zone and it disengaged. So again, this is a safety thing. So I want you, if you're not used to this, when I get on steep inclines like this, I don't really use the hill start control. I only use it to hold me in place while I'm at a light or I'm sitting there with my hands off the handlebars or something like that. When I'm on a steep incline like this, here, I'm going to take off and let me put this, engage it again. So if I'm on a steep incline like this, I'll engage it. Turn right here. I see no cars coming. I'm going to put my foot on the rear brake. I'm going to start letting the clutch out, give it a little gas. See, it's already off. It turned off, but the friction zone is not on. So if I didn't have my foot on the front brake, guess what happens? Woo! Whoop. See, I go backwards. So foot on the front brake, rear brake, I'm sorry. Get the clutch in the friction zone, give it some gas. Feel the bike start to vibrate and you know it's in the friction zone. Release the rear brake, and off you go. So for me, the hill start control, I basically just use it to hold myself in place. I never really trust it to hold the bike in place while I'm going to take off from a very steep incline at a stop sign or a red light, especially when there's cars behind me, because the last thing you want to do is roll backwards into a car. That wouldn't be fun. So that's it. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Let me know your experiences with it or how you use it. I know downtown Austin there's a street that's really steep, and I've used it there. But again, I just always have my foot ready or using that rear brake just in case I don't want to roll back. But that's it. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to cruise around this park a little bit, get to the exit, and enjoy some mileage before this winter freeze drops down upon Central Texas here. Okay, and I hope your 2024 is off to a good start, and we'll see you again soon. Later.